Hello and welcome to another video from the Marketing Study Guide. In this video we're going to have a look at the for and against of using demographics for market segmentation. My name is Jeff. I'm a long-term marketing lecturer and practitioner. Okay, just as a quick recap, here are the main approaches to market segmentation. As I mentioned, this one is all about demographic segments. However, I have videos available on each of those different approaches if you want to check them out. Very quickly to start with, what are we trying to do when we segment a market? Okay, so I've got a very simple market here, and they've got circles around them. And what we're trying to do is look for two things. What do they have in common? And is that commonality different to other groups? So for example, this group here, or this segment here, they need to have something in common from a marketing consumer perspective. So that may be the types of products they buy, their purchasing behavior. They might have different characteristics, different lifestyles, different attitudes, etc. So we need them to have something in common. They're never going to be identical, but they're going to be quite similar. And we want them to be distinct from the other segments. So each segment that we create in our segmentation process that's that group. They're different between them, common within. And our purpose, as it says down here, is to define suitable target markets for us as a company and then execute a marketing strategy and a marketing mix that is more effective by going after a distinct group of people rather than everybody generally. Okay, let's have a look at what demographics are. You're probably very aware of this. They're measures of the population. So there's a whole bunch of things we can look at, but typically is age groups, family, education, occupation, gender, ethnic background, religion, etc. And those are things that people have in common. Some of those things are quite relevant to consumer behavior. Some are possibly less so. So we need to find the ones that are quite effective in our industry for our company. Okay, here is the for and against of using demographic segments. We all know about demographics. They've been around for a long time. Governments have been using them for hundreds of years in most cases. So the first point we have is they're effective for us because they're very easy to understand, easy to define. We can communicate them in the company. Our target market is people in their 20s or retired people or high-income people, etc. So we all know what we're looking at. The second point is they're very easy to measure because governments typically provide that information and do it very thoroughly. And therefore we can say there are this many people in the segment, down to a very precise number. Usually we rely on surveys and estimate how many people are in those segments, but with demographics we can usually be very, very accurate. The third point there, free and quickly available, that depends a little bit on the data and depends on the country. Many countries will have a government that provides basic demographics for free. Often it's online. So if you were working somewhere as a marketer and your boss said, hey, I need information on this, age segments or income segments or occupation, no doubt you could probably jump on, access that data and have it done within a few hours. So it's very quick, very easy. The fourth point there is we can use it in combination. So there's lots of demographics we're going to have a look at. We can put it together and we can actually use it with other forms of segmentation to create a very rich profile of our segment basis. So the last point is there, it's, in my view, is very helpful information to construct an understanding of the segment and to paint a picture of them rather than creating the segment itself. So let's have a look why that's the case. What are the negatives here? The downside of demographics, unfortunately, is it just tells you how old somebody is or something like that, or how much they earn or what job they do. It doesn't tell us anything about them as a consumer. we need to make assumptions. So that's the second point there. We end up with very simplistic segments of retired people or people in their teens or something like that. And it's a very simplistic approach. It's very generic. It's potentially similar to what our competitors are doing, so it doesn't give us any competitive advantage in terms of information. And the third point is there is the assumption part. So because somebody's 25, we assume that all 25-year-old people have the same needs. They do the same shopping. They buy the same stuff. They're walking around the supermarket and they're pulling the same things off the shelf. Or if we're a service firm, they're deciding which one to go to, how to operate, how to interact the exact same way. And that's clearly unlikely. So what we need to do generally is to add a different base as well. So we can use age or we can use any other demographic. But generally we need to bring something in that's consumer related. So either psychographic or behavioral segmentation based to make it rich. And I've got down the bottom there, it's an older, more dated approach. It is very popular in business because there's the simplicity, the accuracy, the speed of getting it. But the downside is it tells us nothing about the customer. So in today's data world, when we have access to so much data and places like Google and Facebook can do very detailed psychographic segments and give you a lot of information about somebody's interests and what they like to do and how they respond. Just relying on demographics is not ideal. As I said, videos on all the other segmentation bases, so please check them out.